come watch Utah for some good cerebral soccer.
Joining us now, she's a goalkeeper for the Utah Royals of the NWSL and the U.S. Women's National Team. She previously played for Gotham FC, helping the team to the 2023 NWSL title. A Jacksonville, Florida native, she played her college soccer for Virginia Tech, where she was a back-to-back All-ACC first-teamer. In her first season with the Royals in 2024, she earned a nomination for NWSL Goalkeeper of the Year. She got her first senior national team call-up October 25th of 2024, and her first cap October 30th. A clean sheet against Argentina. She forces her family to watch her learn how to play guitar on FaceTime. It's Mandy McGlynn. Hi, Mandy.
Hi. That was a little fun fact at the end there.
No, it sounds like a joy to watch you play Here Comes the Sun 15 straight times, missing most of the nets.
They hate it every time, but it's fun for me.
Yep. Also joining us, she's a forward for the Utah Royals and the Canadian national team. A Sudbury, Ontario native, she started playing soccer at age 5, played her college footy for Iowa, where she was the school's top scorer during all 4 seasons there, and finished tied for the school record with 112 points, second all-time with 43 goals, tied for first in shots, and second in game-winning goals and assists. After playing in Toronto, Iceland, and Portugal, she signed with Arsenal of the Women's Super League and then joined the Royals in 2024. She made her debut for the Canada national team in 2021, but also has Icelandic citizenship. She's a black belt in Taekwondo. It's Cloé Lacasse. Hi, Cloé.
Hi. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Are you a black belt forever? Like, if you haven't done it in a while, does it still count?
I like to think that it does, yes.
Okay, good. I love that. Thanks for joining the show. Let's talk about the FIFA break, because y'all are just coming off of it. What was the highlight of your time off, Mandy?
The highlight of my time off was I went to Spain with my whole family, and we visited my partner's family, so that was really amazing. And yeah, that was probably my highlight. I saw Harry Styles twice, so that was sick. Big fan.
I have a friend who went to his show in London and said it was a literal life-changing experience for her, like a before and after Styles.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was really great. I would have to agree.
I need to go. Cloé, what was the highlight for you?
Definitely chill time with the fam. I was planning on just painting a room and it became demolition zone, but we did renovate the room and we're good to go.
You did it yourself with hammers and everything.
Well, my partner was involved and unfortunately he's the reason for the demolition. It was just supposed to be painting, but we're working on our handyman skills right now.
Hilarious. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we're returning to play in such an excellent spot. Second on the NWSL table. This is a surprise for many. Mandy, you had a 0-2 start to the season and then 10-game unbeaten streak. So were there just regular growing pains to start the season, or was there some sort of come to Jesus moment, revelation that happened after game 2 that really got you going?
I think we just needed to stick to what we wanted to do and accomplish. And yeah, it was just getting the feel for the first couple games. We had some injuries to start with as well. So once we, the whole squad got healthy and we started just really knocking out the game plan consecutively, like that's when you saw us reach our flow state. And it's been really, really fun to play in, witness, review, and learn from. So that's kind of the point that we're at right now.
It's funny, flow state has been a through line all week with so many of our guests, and it is a feeling that you get in.
Yeah.
I love that that's how you described it, because it is different than just, things are kind of clicking for us. It's like, we're all moving as kind of a unit, which is really fun to see. What's gone right in your opinion, Cloé?
Yeah, Mandy definitely covered the bases, but I think the togetherness of the group has been our strength, truthfully, and I think we're really figuring out what we want as individuals and kind of playing off each other's strengths in that way. And yeah, and we've just simplified the game, and we're a strong group and we're highlighting individuals, but it's the collective that's been our real superpower, I think, this season.
Speaking of individual goals, you are tied for the team lead with 4 goals, also ties your career high in Utah. You also have a career high 3 assists through 12 matches. So where's the chemistry working for you in terms of the team success, but also you managing to keep showing up in the box score?
Yeah, I mean, kind of what I said previously, I think we've just done a great job of working the collective, and I think we mentioned it this week, we have 8 different goal scorers, which, I mean, it's hard to defend when you really don't know who it's going to be, right, at the end of the day. So we're highlighting individual strengths, but like I said, the collective has been a priority, and we've been really showcasing that each and every match, I think.
The league is going to look a little different after this month-long break. Among the many moves, Ali Sentnor now with Angel City, Lily Reel is in Boston, Sam Kerr is back in the NWSL with Gotham, Lindsay Heaps is in with the Summit. This second half is going to be a whole new ball game, pun intended. So how do you keep momentum going after your great start, Mandy?
Yeah, the focus is always going to be on us. We always, work out our processes for the week and how we can work on, Utah. And we're not going to focus on, outward things or the noise around us. Just executing our process goals one step at a time has been so important for this team and just putting one foot in front of the other. So, yeah, bring on Lindsay, bring on Kerr, but we're going to focus on Utah Royals.
I have to start a second stat line for backflips in the league again. We were without for so long. I think she still got it in her. I hope so. Not against y'all, of course. We don't want any. Those usually follow goals. So
Yeah,
we'll hope for that against other teams. Cloé, how long into this FIFA break did you start practicing again regularly? And has it come up in any of those practices and game plans that there are these new strategic kind of things to look out for in terms of stars moving or arriving?
Yeah, I think like Mandy said, we're just focusing on us right now. I think the first half of the season, we really kind of honed in on what we want to be and what our identity is going forward. And we're just going to kind of keep working on that and strengthening it. And that's, I think, how
So
we
no
wanna move
mention.
forward. No mention.
No
We're
mention.
focusing on
Oh my-
us. However,
Wow,
mention on the
okay.
5-second throw-ins and on those types of refereeing things that we have focused on.
Okay, so we'll allow the refs to steal focus, but maybe not stars from other teams. All right. Mandy, a finger injury sidelined you at the start of the season, and you were out for a pretty long stretch there. How did you stay connected to the team and stay ready so that when you got back in, you felt like you were a part of that collective?
Yeah, luckily, with a finger injury, like I can still be a soccer player, just not a goalkeeper. So staying on top of my footwork was the priority. And I could be involved in a lot of drills with the team. So that connection came there and just staying, uplifting in the locker room before games. Still having that like loud presence that goalkeepers have.
Some goalkeepers, some of y'all are kind of weird and off to yourselves. So you're one of the ones that's in the mix.
I'm in the mix. I'm dancing. I mean, I think all of our goalkeepers here are in the mix, so that's really fun. Yeah, so just staying connected in that way. And just for being involved in all the meetings, asking a lot of questions, and so it was just an easy transition for when I came back.
Speaking of being out of the game, you are part of some very serious NWSL lore. Neely Martin's championship game goalie stint. For those who don't remember, in the 2023 NWSL championship, Mandy was sent off for handling the ball outside the penalty box in the 7th minute of second half stoppage time, with the team up 2-1, trying to hang on for the title. And Neely Martin had to go into net for the last moments of the game with the championship on the line. Take us back to that moment. What were you feeling and thinking, and how grateful were you that maybe Neely didn't have to show off too much of her keeping skills?
Well, it's funny is like she was my roommate best friend, and like she always put on my gloves and I always hit the ball at her. So I was like, she's got this when the moment happened. But the moment in itself, I was like, I have to do something here. Like then after it happened, I was like, I need to practice heading the ball outside the box because I can't do that anymore. But it was honestly the craziest experience of my life. I'm so grateful Neely didn't have to make a save. She went the right way though, so very proud of her. And I was in the locker room like by myself and just hearing cheers. I had no idea if they had scored, if they tied it, like no idea. So, but it was finally my goalkeeper coach that came in and was like, "You won us the game." I was like, "I don't know about that." I put it on a little rocky situation, but so it was so crazy, really, really fun.
It's fun because you won.
It's fun because we won, and now it's a good story to tell.
Yeah, it's good trivia for, Gotham defender Neely Martin was in goal for their NWSL title winning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cloé, let's talk national team, because you made your return to the Canada national team in February after missing some time to a torn ACL. How did it feel to have worked your way back to getting to wear that national team kit again?
Yeah, it was a great moment. The national team did a great job though throughout my injury to stay connected. We had a coaching staff shift as well, so there was a lot of, I'll say, turbulence in there at that time. But yeah, the coaching staff, the new ones that they brought in, did a great job in keeping myself connected with the group and kind of seeing in which direction that they want to take as well, right? Because it was a complete shift in staff. So yeah, it it's always a privilege to get to wear the badge, especially because it's Canada Day today. Shout out to that.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, I was happy to be back with the girls as well. And so far so good. We're on the right track, and we got the qualifiers coming up. Mandy's gonna be an enemy real soon, but yeah, no, the group is in a good place, and we're looking forward to what's to come.
I should say happy Canada Day. We're recording this on Wednesday. We did happen to run an interview with the Toronto Tempo GM today, and everyone was like, well done, you running this on Canada Day. And I was like, oh, yep, we definitely knew that and did that with intention. You mentioned the change in staff. You were there under Bev Priestman at you were part of the team that got caught up in the drone scandal in the 2024 Olympics. Things are very different now, whole new look. How different does it feel for you under Coach Casey Stoney?
Mm-hmm. I think it was so important to build trust with Casey, and I think she's done a great job with the group in making sure that we feel like we're in a safe place, because truthfully it was very rocky after those Olympic games, and it took a bit of time, and that was a big part of it. There was a lot of healing that had to be done when it came to coaching staff and players, but yeah, now we're in a good place. We've turned the page and we're just looking forward. We're not looking back anymore.
I do have to say, y'all are lucky you're Canadian and our vibes and feelings about you are so positive. It almost felt weird to be mad about it, even though if it had been literally almost any other country, we would have been so pissed about the drones and presuming so much worse was going, like, oh, they're all in on it. And we were like, oh, they're nice Canadians, eh? They probably didn't know anything, right? Like, you guys really had earned so much goodwill beforehand that I think it passed more quickly than had it been maybe some other squads. So glad to see fresh slate and really exciting, all the players from that team that are coming together. Mandy, let's talk about the national team for you, because the battle for the U.S. starting keeper, the replacement of longtime star Alyssa Nair, it's stressful for everyone involved. It's exciting, but it's stressful. How do you handle the pressure of competing for that gig, and whether you read the stories about who's got the lead and who's in the running and all of that?
For me, I had to kind of adopt the principle that we have here of just like focusing on ourselves. So it's just like, yeah, I can't put too much pressure on expectations or outcomes or opportunities. I can just go to camp and do my job. And the job is to keep the ball in the net. Don't lose the ball with your feet and do your best and have fun. So I think I did a lot of work mentally, because it's just a lot of eyes, a lot of opinions. So doing a lot of work mentally with our sports psychologist has been really great for, my well-being and being able to handle this position.
You've spoken in the past about the importance of addressing mental health, seeking counsel with a therapist or just a trusted friend, and how you like that the national team calls it mental fitness, another muscle to work out. So can you share some of the ways you think Emma Hayes and that staff at the national team really help players stay on top of their mental health?
Yeah, I really we do like group meetings, and it's just kind of like talking about like the areas of the game where it's not just technical soccer or tactical soccer. It's about, how do you survive under pressure? How do you thrive? And like what are things that you can notice about yourself? And so yeah, we just all kind of like do a lot of reflection, and just start preparing our brains. Okay, like we're going to be in Brazil during the World Cup. This is how the game is like in Brazil. How can you handle this? So it's definitely putting our brains in that environment before we're actually there. And I think that really helps our like mental fitness, and in the sense of like, okay, we are preparing for this, a year in advance, and, mentally before we even get on the field.
Yeah, you've been there before, quite literally there. I loved getting the inside look at Emma's speech when y'all were not the home team and not the favorite team for that first game in Brazil. And her saying like, hey, this is how it's going to be. You're not always going to be beloved, and like, take it all in, feel it, know it, so that next time you're like, we've been here before, we're good. Yeah, she just seems like a really singular voice, and someone that I'm really excited to keep learning how she's leading that team. Cloé, when I've had softball players on the show, one of the things we talk about is how hard it is to play a sport where failure is the norm, right? If you're hitting 3 out of 10 balls, that's great. That's Hall of Fame level, right? So as a forward and as someone who wants to see on the sheet the success of what you've done, how do you handle, like, when you've played a great game, but it's not something you can show for it, or when you're in a gap between, maybe a drought between goals, how do you stay mentally ready for the next game?
Yeah, I think attacking positions in general, there's always someone who has something to say. You could have the best game of your life in your mind, but someone's going to think it's the worst. I think that's also one of the big differences I think about playing in Europe and playing in the States. I think in the States, people are a lot more optimistic, they're a lot more positive. Whereas sometimes I think out in Europe, it's a little bit more narrowed, and you can get targeted in a lot of moments. But for me, it's definitely just about contributing, and that doesn't have to be a goal or an assist, but there's so many different ways to contribute. You can have high pressure, you could be defending, you could be all over the place, right? But yeah, it's about contribution, and I know what that looks like for me, and I know when I can walk off that pitch happy, and I think it's about identity, right? And you have to know what kind of fills your cup out on the pitch and what's going to help your team get the W at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone in England's always gutted. Everyone's gutted about everything. One interesting thing, my former colleague at ESPN, Rachel Epstein, has just taken over as chief marketing officer for the NWSL. And we were talking about storytelling in the league and how the American audience receives soccer. And one of the things we talked about was how it's a little bit harder to know what happened in a game and know what kind of players you're watching, how elite they really are when you don't have, well, she had 45 points and 11 rebounds and 3 blocks. It's a more cerebral game. It's a game that requires understanding. So if you put on your marketing hat, what would you tell people about your Utah Royals team, Cloé, and what they should be watching for? Who's really amazing at this thing that they should keep an eye out for? Like, how can you make us a better viewer of your team?
I think if I'm going to give a shout out to someone right now, it's going to be Nuria. I think she's very underrated, and I think she does all the little things right. And I think she's been excelling with this group. She's been so important for us, but because she's a little bit quiet, people don't really put a spotlight on her. Do you know what I mean? But I'll give it to her because I think she's done an excellent job and she's a great player. But I think, yeah, like I said, the collective of this group is definitely its strength. We're a high pressing team. Our back line has also done a fantastic job. So shout out to you guys, Mandy. But yeah, I think we're able to work in tight spaces very well, which is a little bit unorthodox in moments with the NWSL. But I think we're a good blend of being able to play in tight spaces and also being able to expose teams if they have high back lines. So we're a little bit of everything right now.
Mandy, what about you? Make us better at watching the Utah Royals.
I mean, we love to convert chances into goals. I mean, that's our whole thing is scoring goals, and we've gotten better at it in the last couple games. So, and we're finding different ways to do it, as Cloé said, with 8 different goal scorers. So it's not just the typical cutbacks or offset pieces. It's a little bit of everything. So we're definitely a creative team with a lot of flexibility and adaptability to put the ball in the back of the net. And I think we can do that because, like Cloé said, like we can press high because we got great defenders in the back and we want to keep the ball. So I would say come watch Utah for some good cerebral soccer.
I love that. I love that as a keeper too, you went straight for offense. That's so unusual. Yeah. Usually I'd be like hearing all about Kate Del Fava and who's doing work in the back. So do you want to give any props to the folks that are getting it done back there?
Yeah, I couldn't do like my job without my back four. I mean, Kate's constantly sliding into every position on the field, doing ridiculous slide tackles. Kale's so smart in her positioning. She breaks up a lot of play for us. Nuria, like you said, her 1v1 defending has been incredible this year. And Yenny Thompson is like another forward on the on our team. So I'm so happy with our back four. And they're making my job really easy right now. So also watch for some great defending.
Yes, love it. Love it. As a keeper, do you do training specifically focused on your vision, like training your brain to see the ball any differently than maybe the field players do?
I do blaze pod work, which is like light reflective work with speed and different colors. I think it is really fascinating, and it helps my, hand-eye coordination as well as, just visualizing, seeing something different very quickly. So translating it to the field is just quick hand-eye coordination, but also like depth perception and, that's kind of what I work on with my eyes.
Cloé, the Royals have never reached the postseason. So how do you ensure that Utah stays near the top of the table and ends that playoff drought?
Yeah, I think we have to kind of stay focused on match per match. I think when you start looking ahead a little bit too much, you can get in trouble. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to narrow focus. And right now it's on Chicago this upcoming weekend, and we're just going to keep going game by game.
What about you, Mandy? Do you have sort of like big picture look at how you want the second half to look for you, or are you game by game, next one on the calendar?
Game by game, like we said, we haven't even talked about, Kerr and Heaps in the league. We're just focused right now on Chicago. And I think that's what's best for our team is just simplifying it and executing the game ahead of us. So, of course, we're excited to see where that leads. But like I said, we're not putting too much pressure on it because that's when things can get a little crazy.
Yeah.
But just, yeah, simplifying it for us.
Utah sometimes feels like it's a little island. And I think that's part of the reason why during COVID, that's where the competition was. It's like nestled in this little mountain area far away from everyone.
I remember that. That was crazy.
It was beautiful.
That was my rookie year.
Yeah.
Rookie year, yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful. It was a great setting for it. But I also do feel like, and like, no offense to y'all, and being second in the table is really helping with this. But sometimes when I'm thinking about NWSL teams, I'm like, what's the one I'm forgetting? And it's Utah. But I think it's just partly the location on the map and all of that. So tell us about the vibes, Cloé. Like for those of us who haven't made it to a game there, who haven't like made the trek because it's not in a big city that maybe we're already visiting and then checking the calendar for a game. Like what are the vibes in Utah? What are the team activities? What does everyone do when they're not out on the pitch?
I mean, honestly, all my friends that have come visited, they've also been surprised because, like you said, they didn't know much about Utah. So it's definitely somewhere I think people really underrate in the States, and it's a gem that people should absolutely visit. So what better thing to do than come to Utah Royals game? Plus, the stadium setting is incredible when the sun is setting. Sometimes when I'm on the pitch, don't tell anybody. Okay, we're telling everybody right now. But I do tend to just kind of look at the sunset towards the mountains, and it's kind of like, wow, okay, this is beautiful. But yeah, no, there's great things to do if you're an outdoorsy person, hiking. You could even go fly fishing. We have some players that go and try that out. Yeah, I think if you like the outdoors and smaller city vibes, it's a good time.
Yeah. Seems like a good fit for a Canadian, a lot more open space than the rest of America. Y'all are used to that up there in America's hat.
It's very on brand.
Yeah.
For Canadians.
Mandy, sell us on Utah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Cloé, I think you hit the nail on the head. One of our favorite team activities in the summertime is floating down the Provo River. So you get on like a little mountain stream and you just float on down. Summer is definitely really fun here. Definitely a lot of lakes, paddleboarding, great outdoor walks. When the smoke isn't bad. And yeah, I think it's just like you said, a hidden gem is perfect. And, our stadium is beautiful. You have the mountains in the background. They turn pink during the sunset. Sometimes have the white caps on them. So it definitely has surprised me too. I didn't think I was going to end up in Utah being a Florida girl. And here I am loving my lake life and, taking my dog out on trail walks. So yeah, it's definitely a really beautiful place to live.
Good sell. Good sell, y'all. I bought it. Okay, we need to do a Royals superlatives speed round. Cloé, who's the best dancer?
Tatum Milazzo.
Yes, I have seen Tatum dance at Kayla Sharple's wedding. She's got moves.
Yeah,
moves. Who's the best dressed, Cloé?
I'm gonna say Mina Tanaka.
Mandy?
I'm gonna say Brecken Mazingo.
Okay, that's one for me to look up. I don't know her fits. Mandy, who's most likely to pick the locker room playlist?
Mia Justice.
That's another keeper. Cloé, same answer?
Yeah, same answer.
What kind of tunes does Mia rock?
All of them.
Mm-hmm. And very loud.
We love that.
Yeah.
Very loud.
Spoken like one of the two 30-year-olds on the team. Oh, it's too loud in here. Turn it down.
Okay, don't do that.
Cloé, who's the most likely to piss off Coach Jimmy Coonwrights?
I think Ana Tejada gets stuff on some toes, but in the best way. Yeah, that'd be my number one.
Who do you think, Mandy?
I think I'm gonna back that.
Yeah.
Okay, Anna. And who's Jimmy's favorite, Mandy?
He loves Mina.
What do you say, Cloé?
Everyone loves Mina.
Yeah, it's probably Mina.
I love it. Okay, last question for you. In a couple weeks on the show, we're doing our first Good Game with Sarah Spain movie club, and we're rewatching Bend It Like Beckham. So is this a film that was part of your childhood soccer careers, and do you have any memory of whether you liked it or how you felt about it, Mandy?
Yeah, I remember watching it. It's so long ago. I honestly don't remember the plot, but I remember liking it. And yeah, she kicked this crazy shot that bent and she scored.
Just like Beckham. Yep.
Yeah.
Cloé?
Yeah, I'd say I do remember it, and I definitely wanted to bend it like Beckham. So here we are. It's iconic.
Here we are. It's iconic, and you fulfilled your dream of being just like Beckham. It was so fun to chat with y'all. I'm so excited to watch this second half, and congrats on the success so far.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.